as our youth, that it's been a very hard week here in Newport News community. Particularly on Thursday, where within a matter of hours, we had police responding to a neighborhood behind B.C. Charles and Mitchell High School, where there was a woman who was shot and her husband was shot and killed, and there are 7 children involved in that family. Police responding there. Our own Walter Satchel, who's associate pastor of pastoral care here, is a police chaplain and has been for a number of years. He also served as an auxiliary police officer for a number of years as well. Walter responded to that call and was there comforting officers and comforting family members and neighbors and that sort of thing. Many of you in our church have some connection with this family, either through one of the children or through the family themselves, parents. So Walter and other police chaplains responded. Little did they know that just a few hours later, they'd be responding when one of their own, Officer Thyne, Katie Thyne, was dragged and killed while she was on duty at a traffic stop. So our police department has suffered greatly over the last weekend. They have hurt, they have cried, they have wondered why. They have had a wonderful processional yesterday filled with respect for Officer Thyne and her family, who leaves behind her 2-year-old daughter. And we simply do not have the words. We simply have very little that can be said at this time. The Chief Drew, who has been remarkable, has been in our services a number of times before and been a part of what we do here, has asked all churches this morning if we would pray and remember both the police officers, Officer Thyne and her family, and remember our officers and our staff, police department staff, and all that they have been through, particularly this week, and that we would pray for them. I'm reminded that Officer Thyne, just when she began her work as a police officer, she began it right here on the stage. Because many times across the years, our church has hosted the Police Academy graduations. When she received her badge, she was standing here. And that gives us a special connection as a church. So I'd like to invite Walter Satchel, our associate pastor of pastoral care, police chaplain, to come and share our prayer. And as he shares, I'd like to ask you, all of you here, to stand. Those of you watching online, just to be in prayer with us. But let's stand and let's pray for our city and our police force.
First of all, I want to thank Randy for allowing me to come forward this morning and offer a prayer up for our officer, Katie Thyne. And it has been a very difficult week within the law enforcement community, but they have also received your prayers and your thoughts and prayers as through the week has gone by. And let me tell you that it's well received, and they know that, because they have been lifted up. And I just ask at this time if you'll continue to pray for them. It's going to be a long haul, getting through the grief process, and especially when you lose someone that you work with day in and day out. As Randy said, I was auxiliary police officer back in '94 when we had the last 2 line of duty deaths, Officer Steve Rufford and Larry Brown, who I worked with, served with, and also was in the academy with Larry, who were killed. And so I asked for prayers for myself as I work through this also to get through. But we'll get through. We have the Lord to rely upon. And again, I ask you if we can continue to pray for them. And let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, I come to you this morning with a loss for words. Our hearts are heavy in thinking about what happened in our city on Thursday evening with the tragic and senseless death of one of our police officers, Katie Thyne, a 24-year-old who was enthusiastic, dedicated, willing to serve with a passion, and who loved her police family. Father, we don't understand. I lift up all of those police officers who are out there protecting us, Even at this moment, I lift up Chief Drew, whose emotions over this loss were evident as we all shared the news. I lift up Officer Murray, who was with Katie at the time of the encounter, and who will always be remembering what he experienced and what he tried to do to help her. And the many officers who will now continue their jobs without her as they work day and night, never knowing for sure what they might be facing. I lift up my fellow chaplains who have spent countless hours, days and nights trying to comfort and offer their support. I lift up Katie's family, her partner, her precious daughter, and her girls' basketball team at the Boys and Girls Club, who without question had their game yesterday in her honor. And as hard as it may be to say, I lift up the gentleman who was responsible for this tragedy, who now has to live with what he did for the rest of his life. Katie began her watch with this very room on June the 8th, 2018, as she proudly graduated from the academy. She shook the hand of Chief Drew, eager to begin a career she longed for. Many thoughts have been shared about the joy she brought to what she didn't consider a job, but an opportunity to be of service. She was known around her fellow officers as someone who was always smiling, who didn't hesitate to share that smile with others. Father, we do not know why this happened or why bad things happen to good people, but we do know that you are in complete control and that you are right beside us, carrying us through these difficult times. Katie Thyne, your watch is over now. May you rest in peace. Amen.
Thank you all for praying. You can be seated. And thank you, Walter, for representing us and for leading us in prayer and for all of your work. I want to